What's going on? Mr. Soul of a Man 504, aka Demond Alvarez. Yes, we are back in this thing, ladies and gentlemen. So I wanted to talk about today dating with your intuitive mind because it just seems that so many people are having issues with dating. Um, as always, I would say first and foremost, man, you need to have love for yourself before you have love for anything else out here. And as I always like to say or preach, trust your instincts. They will save you from a lot of, let's say, crazy situations or bad situations that you may find yourself in. And trusting yourself is very, very, very important. Before you go into this whole world of meeting strangers and inviting their energy into your life. And before you say, like, hey, I want somebody to complete me. An actor said that, hey, I can do so much for my wife, but it's generally up to her to be happy, like after everything that I've pretty much done. I kind of remixed what he said a little bit, but y'all pretty much get the gist of it, because um you really do have to be really strong out here, and you have to have a strong sense of self. You have to know naturally like what you bring to the situation, and you have to take a tally and toll of what you're going, and especially for women. As I've dated throughout the years, timing with women is everything. Like seriously, like if a woman is really, if she's focused in her life, like really, really, really focused, and like let's say she's going back to school or starting to, whatever it is, and she's just really going through it, man. Not in a bad way, but going through it where it's like eye on the prize, and I don't have time. Like you really have to kind of come in and fit in like a glove, and that's just, that's just naturally what that thing is, because we only naturally. And thank you everybody for joining me. So what's going on, Shonda? How are you, ma'am? So we only get like one shot at a thing called life. Then of course there's afterlife, and what you believe happens after we leave this place. Hey, it's naturally all on you, and what you've been taught and all of that good stuff. But the important thing is that whatever said situation, and a lot of those situations, we are constantly learning, we're constantly evolving. So get it where you fit it. So we're always constantly learning, and we're always constantly evolving. Whether it be, some people can learn through other people's experiences. Some people have to experience things for themselves. Like if you told me, hey, Mom, blah blah blah, X Y Z about this or that, and if I can learn from that, if I can get some experience from your experience, that's a great, and that's a beautiful things, but a beautiful thing. But it just seems like with dating, it seems like people are the well, yeah, more like the male female dynamic of it, or whatever it is that you're into. Um, Seems like it's like the polar opposite. Like guys are on this side, women are over there, and there's no genuine talking. That I think that's the one of the interesting things, is that nobody really takes the time to have a conversation. To it really, it takes a natural, it takes us a while. We are always constantly evolving, like I said. And one thing is that we sometimes we probably have to introduce ourselves to ourselves, and we are always constantly growing. And we may, you might have dated in one city, you're going to another city. You may date online, which is that's a whole nother conversation within itself. And it's like these days people, they just don't want to be who they are for some, for some odd reason. And I know, some people may have all of these, you got to have this, that. Like imagine take a roll of toilet paper, uh, the big one, and just write down, just write until you can't write back and forth, and roll it down the street. That's what a lot of people want, and a lot of people can't bring those tangibles themselves to a relationship. And Lord forbid that person has kids, or, and you naturally, you do have a choice in the matter. You do. And some people may have extra things going on in their lives, and you may not want to be a part of that. And that's okay. You can look at the situation and judge it accordingly for yourself. And if you're like, too rich for my blood, I'm good. Say like, take me for instance. Like I don't have any kids, so let's say if a woman does have a kid, and she's like, well, I would rather a guy who, who's a father and he's, raising kids, so he could understand. Blended families are a big thing these days, from my observation, and it it grows, it grows from there. So, two main things are know who you are and know what you want. Those are two very, 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 very important things. And a lot of people aren't in relationships. They go into these situationships, and one person is thinking one thing, the other person is thinking the other. Ladies, please don't go into a situation with the, some people are stuck in their ways, maybe good, bad, or ill, however you want to look at that. Please don't go into it like, oh, I can change this person. And they're not going to change. you know, like you might have heard something, or and always, pay attention to the pay attention to those red flags, man. The little things that you see in the beginning, and for whatever reason you dismiss it, and you go, you go down that road, and it turns into something, um, turns into a situation that you shouldn't have been in the first place. Especially if you are someone who is very spiritually inclined. You have a high sense of intuition. You have a high sense of reading people, and maybe those people are good in parts in other ways. Business or whatever, whatever, whatever. I mean, that's, hey, what's going on, man? Maybe those people are good in other ways. It's like the story of the vampire. They said, vampire can't walk into your place, or anything demonic can't come in unless you invite it in, you know, or unless it was just naturally there and you go into that domain. So, just kind of watch who watch who you're familiarizing yourself with, and come to some conscious decisions, and don't get into or try not to get into something that is going to be detrimental to you. We can only do so much. People. I say I'd say humans are the most unpredictable animal on the face of the earth. You jump in the ocean, you know what a shark is gonna do. A great white, if you go to the Amazon, you know what piranhas are gonna do if they're hungry. That's their natural habitat. But when it comes to people, it's just it's like that Doctor Strange movie. It's like the Doctor Strange and the madness of the multiverse. It does come with it people should come with warning labels, and you're using that intuition if you're not blinded by, I don't know how they look or how they talking or whatever. But I always say the new car smell fades very quick, and if you can't handle that and that car note, you or if you don't know how to drive or stick shift, whatever, however you want to look at that, may want to, you may want to think about some things, and it also goes into what you're calling into your life, because we are, let's just face it, moving forward, everything is powerfully spiritual. Everything, all the retrogrades, full moons, new moons, you know, you name it. Certain holidays, planetary, all of that stuff, man. All of that stuff is in play, and in the scheme of it, it's you. It's you, your understanding, and it's your and it's your happiness, and it's having a sound mind. You know how we are creatures of habit. We want what we want, when we want it, and we go for it. We some said no, don't do that, but you go for it anyway. You got to learn that lesson. Sometimes you got to take the lick, and you got to, we hard headed. Some of us, whatever your sign, whatever that, you want to look at it like that. But sometimes you're hard headed, and something inside your higher self is what you had to, you had to learn that lesson. That's how it goes sometimes, and not, never wishing anything bad on anybody or any harm on anybody or anything like that. But just from what I'm hearing, it's tricky, maneuvering, but it's a little tricky, but it's not as hard as we think it is. I think sometimes we we do make some we do make some we do make a mountain out of a molehill, and somebody might look, just readjust your glasses a little bit. Just readjust your glasses a little bit so you can, just step back a little bit with me. Come on, just step back. See, trying to get you to see what I'm seeing here. Just look at that situation again. And if you look at that person maybe from a different angle, you'll be like, okay, yeah, I see. Now I see. You know, what is that? That once was blind, but now I see. But yeah, but use your use your innate abilities, man. We we all have them to a fault. Some of us have them to a fault. Your intuition, your sixth sense. If you get a good feeling about it, cool, man. Hey, it's what it is. But something tells you, like, man, I don't know. Like all of those memes you see nowadays about people being invited places and they just don't want to go for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Just I'm just saying. I'm just saying because um as a whatever you want to call it, um one of the most interesting questions, or one of the most questions I get across the board, love, relationships, this gonna work out and this person gonna be happy. Am I gonna be happy in my life? These things. Right. We have these questions. I contemplate these things. I'm sure the greatest philosophers, Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, all of these people, Nietzsche, all of these people, would sit down and contemplate all of these things. Look at the stars, wonder where we are, our place in the grand scheme of it all. Little old us on this planet called Earth. And I don't want to get too deep into it. But all I'm saying um, is I know sometimes we got to choose violence as what it is. Sometimes people bring that nonsense and, you know, would it go down how it go down. But most of the time, um, you don't even naturally have to be in those situations. You don't. You're not, you know, you're anything little bit like me, you're trying to win. The majority of the time, that's what you're calling in. You're calling in winning and moving, man. When you walk outside, it's summertime, but the wind blows a cold chill down your spine. Something is telling you something. Seriously. So, you know, but as they say when you go to the bar, drink responsibly. Drink responsibly, man. Know when to say when. Sometimes we just gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And take that lick. It's not a L. It's it's a learning lesson. You learned a lesson once, and it could have been a very painful lesson. Whatever it was, could have been a very extraordinary, whatever that was. You know, and uh, they say got to be more careful. So that's what it is. You have to, just be a little bit, just be a little bit more careful next time. But you know how you are. You're powerful. Sometimes sometimes we need other people to come in. Sometimes we need up to the earth on the roadside. But sometimes we need sometimes we need a different perspective. You know, but some a perspective that we can trust. So yeah, man. That's why you have yours truly here. So don't forget to book your sessions with me and all of that good stuff. Whether you are on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you are. So wherever you are, man, I just feel like it's about to be a whole new world out here, for real, for real. So things are definitely being shifted around right now, and um, it's definitely time for action. Definitely time for action. Some patience, but action nonetheless. But alrighty, folks, thank you guys so much for joining me. I don't like to be long-winded because I know how it is. I don't know, shorter videos and stuff like that seem to rule the day now. So that's how it is. But thank you guys so much for joining, Mr. Soul Lover Man 504. You guys have a great Thursday, and yeah, we'll see you guys soon.